Ah, is this me? I can't tell.
Oh boy, it's that time again.
Yeah.
This is our top 7 tours of 2014, because if you divide 14 by 2, you get 7.
Yeah.
That's our entire reasoning behind doing this.
Exactly.
What
So-
about the 0?
But then you add 0 to it, and then it's fucking dumb.
Multiply it, you don't do anything.
You just
Yeah, it's
calculus.
Stop the video.
Yep. So yeah, we're going to be talking about our 7 favorite tours / shows of this year. Didn't go to as many as previous years. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And yeah, 7.
Me? All right. Number 7. I have Anvil at the Reverb in Reading. I mean, this was a pretty cool show. I got a ticket through my friend Joel in local band called Metal Wolf. You know, check them out. They're thrashy and power metal and stuff. Check them out. But I mean, there was a bunch of local bands that were not really worth too much. But then there was Anvil, which Anvil's like, you know, one of the forerunners of like hard rock and metal, and they did a solid job live. I mean, they were fun to listen to live, but you know, if I had one gripe with it, you know, the singer Lips, he loves to fucking talk, like Jesus Christ. He would spend 5 minutes in between like every single song. He'd tell some story about how he met Dio or how he met Ozzy. And I'm just like, yeah, that's cool, but can you play more music? Like, you don't have to tell a story after every single song. The one thing that was really funny and cool that they did was when they played Mothra, he did like a solo where he grabbed like a dildo and a vibrator, and he was using it as a slide. He used it as a slide, and then he started slapping the strings with it, and then he turned the vibrator on. It was messing with the how much the vibration was and using it on the strings. It was just funny and interesting. So I got a kick out of that. So that's my number 7.
Anvil trying to stay relevant.
Yeah.
So they use dildos and vibrators. Yeah. Number 7, I have Alter Bridge, and it was Alter Bridge and some other fucking bands. I don't even remember the names of them anymore. California Breed. California Breed had the singer and bass player of Deep Purple in it, and some fuck off 20-year-old kid from New York. I don't even know why. He's like, I want to play a fucking band with you, whatever. That wasn't the point. Alter Bridge. If you have a favorite Alter Bridge song, they probably fucking played it. They played for a very long time. They were loud. And Miles Kennedy is a very good vocalist live, and so is Mark Tremonti. But you know, live, I was like, man, this guy's, you know, the power in his voice. You can definitely see it better live. I did not know too how much he actually does a lot of leads and solos and all kinds of stuff in his band. I thought it was most of the guitar work was on Mark Tremonti, but it made you realize that Alter Bridge is not just your average rock band. They are, you know, they definitely write as a band, in my opinion, and it's definitely cool. But their performance was phenomenal. I mean, seriously, top-notch mix and set list, and all kinds of stuff. It was awesome. Number 6, I have Steel Panther. You can't get funnier than seeing Steel Panther ever live. I mean, Steel Panther to me is the fucking funniest band live, and their set list that night was absolutely killer. And just the thing too is that, you know, you hear in their studio albums, you know, Michael Starr, he'll do this like big scream, or, you know, one of those like wow type things, you know,
like,
he does.
like David Lee Roth.
Yeah. Or you'll hear this in fucking insane solo from Sabotage, and you'll be like, there's no way they do that live. But they do. And that's fucking cool. And they're very entertaining. And talk about a band that likes to hear themselves talk. They really like to hear themselves talk and just make fun of everybody. And, you know, it's pretty funny. And they always get hot chicks up on stage. Although they're not always hot, all of them. Some of them are. It's pretty cool. So, I mean, I've seen Steel Panther a couple times. I've only seen Pair of Titties once. Oh. But no, they're fucking amazing band.
My number 6, I've Hailstorm at Freedom Hall, Lancaster. Honestly, both the openers, the Dead Deads and fucking New Medicine were both bad. New Medicine tried to play a fucking like short cover of War Machine. One, they cut it in. Cut it early, and it just sucked. Like the only saving grace about the show was Hailstorm, which Hailstorm is one of my favorite bands to see live. It was cool to actually see them play stuff, you know, from their first album. First time I saw them, they only played from The Strange Case of, because that album, I think it literally just come out not too long before that. And so, I mean, it's just cool. You know, Lizzie Hale is a great vocalist and guitar player. Joe, I know, is the guitarist. He's a really talented guitarist. The bassist, he's gotten better. He used to not be that good of a... He still barely has a stage presence, and his voice still kind of sucks live, but he's gotten better. He used to be like completely monotone last time I saw him. And R.J. Hale is one of the most entertaining drummers to watch live, especially when he's doing a solo. He's just a kick to like watch. Like half the time caught myself watching him, but yeah, just them, they kind of saved this show, and they made it worth the money because they put on a fucking good show. So, yeah. Number 5, I have the Arch Enemy Creator show at a soundstage in Baltimore. And, what was it? Huntress and... Starkill opened. And it sucked for Starkill, because they only got to play like 2 songs. And they got kicked off. And the Huntress, I didn't care. She smokes pot and she can't sing or scream.
She snorts a lot of coke.
Yeah, and, you know, that's all I got out of that.
That's what it looks like.
But fucking Creator was awesome. They played a bit more of a variety, I think, than the first time we saw them, because they played like Pleasure to Kill and crap, what was one of the other songs? I mean, they played a bunch of just different songs that we didn't really hear the first time. And I mean,
Voices of the Dead.
Voices of the Dead. That was one of the ones I was thinking of. And
Possible Brutality.
That's what it was. Possible Brutality. And then they played like Phantom Antichrist. Hordes of Chaos, Phobia. You know, they played like, you know, just if you have a personal favorite Creator song, more than likely they played it. And then also Arch Enemy was the headliner, which they also did really, really well. Alyssa White Glues, I'm not sure how to pronounce that part of her name. Gluge, yeah, let's go with that. She's a great front woman. I mean, she just commands attention, and I don't mean that just because she's hot. I mean, she just commands attention on stage. I mean, and the band was just so solid on stage. It's just everything sounded fucking amazing. From listening to Ravenous and War Eternal and and songs like that, it was just awesome to see this band live. So that's my number 5.
Number 5, I have Arch Enemy and Creator as well, and I pretty much agree with everything Keith said, so I won't say too much more, but I think a big highlight for me of this show is just watching Michael Amott live. He is a fucking amazing guitar player, and, he was, like, right there in front of us, pretty much, because we were pretty close to the stage, and, man, Arch Enemy they really put on a good show. They're probably one of the tightest bands I've ever seen live. They were just phenomenal. So yeah, that's what I had at 5 as well. I pretty much agree with everything he said. So yeah. Number 4, I had the Summer Slaughter Tour 2014. This is the best Summer Slaughter lineup I think they've ever had, to be honest with you. It's one of the best. That's always up for debate. Man, Morbid Angel headlining, that alone just makes it amazing. Just because, Morbid Angel is one of the most classic and legendary death metal bands out there. Just legendary band, period. They put on a phenomenal show. Summer Slaughter is a very long show. It's 10 hours of just constant fucking death metal all the time, and it's brutal and it's awesome. And you're inside and you're with a couple thousand people and you're packed in like fucking wieners and it's sweaty. And so I was exhausted as shit when they came on, but man, they did really play a good show. And some of the other bands just ruled too. But Dying Fetus, Jesus Christ. I think every metal fan in the world should see Dying Fetus once. Sam crowd surfed the Dying Fetus before. That was pretty fucking cool. But man, Dying Fetus, they will just literally destroy everything live. And it's just awesome. Let's see, who else ruled? Goat Whore was fucking awesome. Die Artist Murder was good. Fallujah. Decrepit Birth literally smoked weed their entire set. While they were playing, they all, sometimes when bands come on, their intro will be playing and their back will be to the crowd. Well, they had their back to the crowd and they were smoking weed the entire time. It was pretty crazy. Wow. Very, very bold. They were alright. Origin fucking sucked. I'm sorry. That's just not my thing of constant sweeps and taps and I can shove 40,000 notes in 2 seconds. Look at me. I'm extreme. Extreme. I gotta be extreme. Extreme. That's not me. Within the Ruins sucked dick too. Faceless, which is now the Michael Keane Experience, literally because that's all that's left. They were whatever too. Summer Slaughter 2014 was fucking solid, man.
Number 4, I have Iced Earth, Sabotage, and Revamp at the Trocadero. Was it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was at the Troc. First off was Revamp. Revamp was pretty cool. There were like a confluence of melodic death metal and like a little bit of all kinds of different things with like a little bit of power metal in there, and it was just cool to see a band again kind of like similar to like Arch Enemy, kind of a more extreme metal band that's fronted by by a woman, which is just cool. I mean, you don't see that all the time. Sabotage, there's a show that I got introduced to Sabotage at, and they fucking slammed. They stole the show, in my opinion. Sabotage just killed it live. They played all their best songs, and it seemed like the crowd was there for Sabotage. Like, everybody was just going nuts for every single one of their songs. It was awesome. They played, The Art of War, 40 to 1, Corollas Rex. They played a lot of shit.
They played one of their new songs.
To Hell and Back. They played To Hell and Back. Ghost Division. Rex. Ghost Division, that's the song I'm thinking. They play open with Ghost Division, which is fucking cool. And then Iced Earth came on. And Iced Earth did pretty solid, too. They played a bunch of songs from... Fuck, what album was it?
The Dark Saga.
Yeah, the Dark Saga. And then, again, they played, from the new album, Plagues of Babylon. They played Cthulhu. They played If I Could See You Now. And then also played classics like Iced Earth and, Watching Over Me. They played Dystopia was another song that I recognized that they played. Like they played a lot of really good songs that night, so that's why it's number 4. Number 3, I have Judas Priest and Steel Panther at in Baltimore. Guess what was that? I don't even know what place that was.
Pier 6 Pavilion, I think.
Pier 6 Pavilion, that's what. Like this is my first time seeing Steel Panther, and even though we missed half their set, I mean, I can see how Steel Panther's a lot of fun to watch live. I mean, they're just tight. They're they're playing and singing, and yet they're putting on like an actual show. Like a lot of bands will just stand there and they'll play, and then maybe they'll move around a little bit or put their foot up or something, and the singer will jump around. But like everybody was getting all up and jumping around and having fun on stage, which I think is cool because you don't see too much of that anymore. And then Priest, it was just awesome to see Priest live. I mean, they're one of probably the big three of metal. The godfathers of metal, the metal gods, and they played. They played stuff from the new album like Dragonaut and The Halls of Valhalla, and then they played a lot of classics. They played, Breaking the Law, of course. You've Got Another Thing Coming, Turbo Lover, which I thought came out of nowhere, and Defenders of the Faith. Like, they just ruled live. They showed that they can still put on a great live show, despite, how old all those guys are getting. So it was just a solid show in general, yeah.
Number 3, I had Primal Fear. We saw Primal Fear. It's just Primal Fear on the tour, but there's a couple other bands at the show. It's the show where I got introduced to an amazing, I guess, local power metal band called Mind Maze. We still got to review their album.
We should do that.
We'll do that eventually.
Yeah.
Check out Mind Maze. I mean, they're seriously very, very great band. Let's see who else. There's some other fucking shitty rock band. I don't remember.
Actually, it was
their
2
name.
shitty rock bands.
And then Arctic Flame, which was a bunch of old dudes. They were okay. But Primal Fear stole the show. Just being like right up against the fucking rail, having some dude trying to fuck me, one of the guitar players. I mean, his sex appeal is insane.
Fucking chest.
Yeah, they literally played like every song that I wanted to hear, almost every song that I wanted to hear. I mean, Fighting the Darkness live is one of the fucking greatest things I've heard live. See what else they played? Nuclear Fire, Angel of Black. They played a ton off of Delivering the Black. They played all the songs that off of Delivering the Black that I wanted to hear. They played the title track. They played Alive and on Fire. They played One Night in December. It's like, dude, you read my mind. It was awesome.
Stop again, man.
And they just sounded perfect. I mean, their solos were nailed. Their riffs were awesome. And Ralph Sheepard sounded very good most of the time. And, it was really cool. It felt very intimate because there really wasn't that many people there. But it was just such a good performance from them. Great show. Great job.
Gotcha.
Number 2, I have Monomarth, Enslaved, and Skeleton Witch. This tour was awesome. This was the first show that I believe I went to in 2014.
Yeah, same.
This was, what,
January. That was January, like the 2nd or 3rd week of January.
Wow. Time flies.
I know, right?
It's crazy. But, man, I mean, Skeleton Witch is Skeleton Witch live. They will rip your face off and, just thrash your ass out the fucking door. They're great live. Seeing Enslaved live was just, man, they were pretty much perfect to me. And I was like, man, how is Amon Amarth going to top Enslaved? And they did. They played like 17 songs, and it was just fucking amazing. Pursuit of the Vikings was one of the coolest things I've ever seen a band do. They just like randomly stopped during the chorus. The band stopped playing, and the crowd just kept going. And like they wanted the crowd to do that, but it was just so cool. And it's just one of the most memorable things to me. That was just awesome. And overall, I mean, I thought their set list was great. They played, a lot of the songs that I wanted to hear, and even some songs off of like Serta Rising and stuff that I didn't think they were going to play. And I was like, hell yeah, homie, this is cool. Johann Greg, is that his name?
I think so. I know it's Johann. I'm not sure what the last name is.
Johann something. I'm fucking blanking on this shit. He sounded good. I believe he was sick that night.
Yeah,
but he sounded great to me. And I mean, they were just. Amon Amarth is a fantastic band live, man. I really. It's one of those performances where as soon as they're done, you're like, I gotta see this band again. And that's exactly what happened with Amon Amarth to me. So that's why it's not my number 2.
My number 2, I have Primal Fear. at the Baltimore Soundstage. Tyler said a lot. I mean, yeah, I also got again introduced to Mind Maze, great band, great local band. Check them out. I think that a lot of their songs are on YouTube, so check them out. If you like it, I'd buy the album. I mean, it's a pretty solid record. And then again, there's a couple crappy bands, and then Primal Fear. Which Primal Fear did, I mean, like Tyler said, just being up front was just awesome. And hearing songs like, When Death Comes Knocking, Fighting the Darkness, Unbreakable Part 2, which is actually like...
Running in the Dust. Running. That was awesome, too.
That was cool. I just think they should have ended with a better song, but that was still cool.
Yeah.
But then, Angel in Black, God, what else did they play? They played Bad Guys Wear Black, which is fucking awesome. Like, they did everything, like, perfect. And it's really funny because I had my doubts going into this because I heard a lot of people had said that, Ralph Schieffer uses backing vocals. He doesn't really sing, live. He uses backing vocals. And when he does sing, it doesn't sound good. And I was like, he sounded like you could tell that he was actually singing. And it was only a couple of times he did not sound good. It just worked out. And he just did a fucking phenomenal job. The entire band did, the whole night. Like, besides Mind Maze, like, they had a lot to make up for that night. And they did. And then my number one, I have Montmartre with Skeleton Witch and Enslaved. So again, I'll kind of run through it quickly. Skeleton Witch, I like Skeleton Witch. I mean, they're the perfect mixture of thrashy and death metal. I mean, and then they'll thrash you and then they'll tell you to eat pussy and smoke weed and all that good stuff. So, which is great. I just think it's great to see that a band like that does not take themselves seriously. Like that's just awesome to me because some bands you just like they're all business and it's just like it's not fun. Whereas that's not the case with them. Enslaved was cool. This kind of was where I kind of started to get into Enslaved. They played
Death in the Eyes of Dawn.
Death in the Eyes of Dawn. I was blanking on that so bad. And the All Father Odin, which is like one of their older songs. And they mostly played songs from Retir, but it was cool though. Like just because of how atmospheric and how much of an experience that was. Like not even like just music, just a sensory experience that was to see. And there was a Monomarth, doing, what a Monomarth does best, which is play fucking Viking metal and fucking wreck you hard. Playing songs like, Guardians of Asgard, which was another cool part when the crowd was singing along. It did, of course they played Father of the Wolf, which they opened it up with playing they opened up the whole night with playing the music video for that. And then, Deceiver of the Gods, and songs like Death and Fire, War of the Gods was awesome. And then I also agree that the Pursuit of the Vikings was just, it's awesome. It was one of those things that honestly is probably the main reason why this is number one. Like, I was just one of the coolest moment. Maybe besides seeing Primal Fear being right up literally at the rail for Primal Fear, that's probably the coolest moment of all the sort of shows I've seen this year, so that's why it's my number one.
My number one, I had Iced Earth and Sabotage and Revamp. And I literally think this is number one just because of how blown away I was by Sabotage. I haven't been to a show in a long time where I was just completely floored by a band. Especially an opening band. And, I was completely floored with their performance, from their energy, to how they got the crowd into it, to their interactions with the crowd. I didn't know a lot of Sabotage's music then. I was like, damn, even their fucking songs are really good. Like, I'm missing out not listening to this band apparently because everybody's here for Sabotage, and the crowd was just going fucking nuts. And that was just a really memorable night to me. And that's seriously probably my favorite performance of the whole year. I mean, they just have this look and this attitude to them live that I feel a lot of bands should look at and be like, that's what we should do, man. They just look like they were having fun. They look like they seriously wanted to be there. And they just seemed like they could have probably played for like 5 fucking hours, and they would be like, all right, let's go for another 5 more. You know, it was so amazing to watch. And then, you know, on top of that, Iced Earth was really good. You know, their set list was really, really well done. I remember, you know, one of the highlights to me of their set list was, you know, and I didn't know this song at the time, but I quickly grew to love this song, is A Question for Heaven. It's just absolutely phenomenal song that they played live. And, you know, in them going back to the Dark Saga was just pretty rad, you know, hearing like The Hunter, that was really cool. You know, songs like that really made their set list pretty good. I just think from an energy standpoint, you know, they could have used a little bit more, but you know, just there, if you're just there to hear their music and not, you know, not mosh or beat the shit out of somebody, you know, that's cool. And I was there to listen to their music, and they did a phenomenal job. I just remember their one guitar player was just like,
I'm just here right now.
But they were alright. Sabotage though.
Fuck right.
Yeah, buddy. That's our fave top 7 shows of 2014. Let's know what good shows you went to in 2014. There's a couple shows that I actually missed out on this year when I had tickets. Really sucked. Dark Tranquility, Omnium Gatherum, Ex Mortis. It decided Mother Nature was like, I'm gonna ice storm all over your fucking day. I was like, fuck you, bitch. And then what else? Machine Head. I had. They were going to play a special show at the Fillmore in Silver Spring, Maryland. It was like Machine Head, Children of Bodom, The Black Dahlia Murder, Suicide Silence, Battle Cross, and Epica. Like, Jesus Christ.
That doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, what a stacked lineup. I think tickets were only like $35 to this show, too. And I was like, what? And I'm like, hell yeah. And then Machine Head decided they were going to cancel their tour. And I'm like, alright, homie.
Make me
Not
sad.
cool.
Make me sad.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a couple shows that I'm looking forward to trying to go to in 2015. Dark Tranquility and Insomnium. Machine Head.
Look at that one.
Enslaved. Let's see, what else is there? There's a couple other ones that I'm like, oh, Behemoth and Camel Corpse. There's a couple other ones that I'd like to go to, but I'm not sure if I'll make it to them. But yeah.
Yeah.
Cool shit. See you guys later.
Bye.